I'm sure that you guys would love to know numbers, so we'll go over to the whiteboard here. 500,000 Canadian pesos. Gotta make a thumbnail. Morning. There's a dog over there. So today's exciting. Gonna pick up our new corn planter. Not gonna tell you guys what it is, but gotta shuffle some stuff around in the shed, pull out the old corn planter. We actually ended up trading in our planter. The deal was too good to pass up, in our opinion. I'll explain everything later on, but got to reorganize some stuff in the shed here, pull the old planter out. I got the telehandler here to move stuff around, and the stone picker needs to be rinsed off, and we'll just reorganize the whole shed so the planting equipment's easy to pull out in the spring, and then we'll go pick up the corn planter. So we'll have some fun. So we're just in the shed here. Yeah, just gonna take some time and reorganize some stuff. Gonna put the ripper in the back corner once we're done with it. The stone picker here, all the small stuff kind of in this corner. It's a dead corner. And then, yeah, a bunch of wetting stuff has to be pulled out of here so that I don't drive over it. But yeah, just kind of reorganize some of this stuff strategically so whatever needs to be worked on early in the spring can easily be pulled out. Thinking the air seeder, the cultivator, the manure tanks usually fit along the wall nicely. Might stick a silage trailer in here, don't know yet. And we'll pull the old corn planter out. The new one doesn't have a card on the back. Yes, we are taking a hit, I think, going to liquid, but we're gonna see how it goes. If it's not what we wanted, I'm going to try and find a used 1910 to pull behind it. But it was just time for an upgrade, and I'm just pumped that I don't have to sling as many bags anymore. Going to pull the stone picker out, give it a quick rinse, pull off all those weeds. I barely used it, but it definitely got dirty. And we'll put it here. So. Oh, leakage. Trying to make a cool video and I'm freaking made the hose too short. Well, I spilled water. This is not fuel. Ah. Bit the bullet and bought one of these. I'm just stealing fuel from my brothers. No. Yeah, we want to pull that tank off that tractor and just give it a good rinse. So we transferred out the fuel to a tractor that had no fuel. Gonna unhook these tanks, give the tractor a quick rinse, because, well, you can't pick up a corn planter with a dirty tractor. So yeah, unhook the tanks on the wash pad. So yeah, we'll unhook the tanks on the wash pad and then give the tractor a quick rinse. And go rearrange equipment and then bring the old planter and pick up the new one. Called being efficient. clean up this corner a bit, kind of put the small junk stuff here, and then we'll put the stone picker right here. Last time hooking onto this planter. So this is a couple days later, but this is our new planter. So this is a 2008 planter. Yes, it is old. That's almost 18 years old. But there's nothing wrong with it. It's only got 8,000 total acres on it, and then 2 years on the high-speed precision, which is on the planter. So when I say high speed, it's got high-speed meters. So what that is, see if I can do this with one hand. It's these guys right here. See if I can. So this is high-speed precision meter. So what happens is the seed goes in here, and then this comes through here, this belt grabs it, and then it spins ridiculously fast, and it travels all the way down here and then drops out. So normal planter meters, they essentially pretty well drop the seed tube right down here, and then, well, if you're going that fast, no good spot. So yeah, regular meters, they essentially drop down, I don't know, what is that, 1.5 feet or something like that? Whereas this, well, it usually drops at, 1.5 feet. And there's a lot of room for the seed to bounce, and then the second one is closer to the third one, and so on. Whereas if it's traveling down with the belt, it's just less room for air. So with that, since you're traveling so fast, and not saying that we are going to be going high speed, you need hydraulic downforce, or they highly recommend it. And then it's also got the V-drive motors on it. So our combine guy is going to like it. Didn't really matter to us before. We'll save on seed costs, but you'll essentially get a picket row stand. So the GPS will tell the planter where the row is, and it will shut off before it overlaps. Whereas with our old planter, it stopped planting as soon as we lifted it up. It's got liquid on it. That's the biggest downside of this planter. Dry is nice, but it's a huge inconvenience, and it's pretty expensive to upgrade. So our plan is, or I guess my theory is, we'll try liquid for 1 year. If it's not what we want, we can easily put a cart on the back of this, or put an Alari or a Salford bin on the front where the fertilizer tank is, and then put the 2x2 openers on, or just blow it in the back of the trench here. I don't know, a lot of people are actually starting to get away from starter fertilizer. If it's a really nice spring and you have good fertility on your land, a lot of people say it's not worth it. Especially liquid. Liquid is essentially twice the cost of what dry is, and I say that because for every dollar that you spend on liquid, you can get twice as much with dry. So I think usually what guys put down, and girls, what they put down is like a 6-24-6, so 6 nitrogen, 24 P, and 6K, or 10-34-0, and so forth. Whereas with dry, you can do whatever you want for blend as long as the salt content isn't too high. And you're placing that fertilizer 2 inches beside the corn seed, not right on top, so you get less risk of salt burn, or however you want to call that, on your corn seed. Essentially, fertilizer is high salt content, and if you put too much of it beside the seed, the seed won't germinate. It essentially kills it. So, but yeah, overall, planter's in really good shape. I got the sales guy to throw in new seed disc openers with it, and not the John Deere ones, because, well, I don't know, we've had bad luck with those. But yeah, overall, pretty pumped to not be slinging bags. And yes, we still have a 12-row, but we can plant at 10 miles an hour now. Not saying we will, but essentially we can double our planting capacity. So gotta make a thumbnail. Alrighty, I got distracted. I thought I should probably put that back together before I forget, and it falls apart and costs a lot of money because that stuff is not cheap. But for those of you that don't know, Precision Planting is an aftermarket planter upgrade that you can do to any maker planter. I think they make them for majority of planters. And it essentially makes your old planter brand new. So yeah, this planter is 18 years old, but you can order a brand new planter and it essentially has these same options on it. Nothing really changes. These row units are essentially the same thing. Some people say the older stuff is better because the quality of steel back in the day is better than it is now. But yeah, so the downforce is controlled by this mechanism here. Probably should have showed it to you when it was folded up, but it's an electric generator, as you can see over there, that runs this hydraulic pump. So yeah, essentially what happens is this load sensing pin tells the computer in the cab, 2020 monitor, what's going on here, and then it will tell this solenoid whether to add or take away pressure, and it's instantaneous. Yeah, Precision Planting is pretty sweet. There's 4 extra banks. You can do V-Apply, which is Precision's liquid system, which I think it will sense the seed and drop only fertilizer every 5 or 6 inches, depending on your plant population. Could be wrong on that, but I know John Deere has that system, and well, John Deere got their idea from somewhere, so probably from this. The The liquid kit has never seen fertilizer from my understanding. The previous owner of this planter was an organic farmer, so I think they were just running insecticide through the liquid system, because organic farmers are not allowed to use commercial fertilizer, or they're not supposed to. But other than that, it's a pretty simple planter. Another nice thing is I don't have to get out of the tractor to fold and unfold anymore. Before, I had to unlock my pin in the front and then switch the valve bank on the old box planter. Yeah, it's got marker arms. The tanks are 35 bushels a piece, so 70 bushels of seed. It's got no-till coulters on it. We'll probably rip those off because we till everything. We've done no-till in the past, but just with manure and whatnot. There's some sort of tillage operation that happens before planting. Doesn't have row cleaners. That's one thing that I would probably think at maybe down the road putting on. Other than that, just a simple planter. These things haven't changed much. This is a 2008 model, and other than the tanks and a bit of other small stuff, other than technology, it's essentially the same. You can actually take off these row units and buy brand new row units and attach them to this planter, and you have a brand new 2026 corn planter. But I'm sure that you guys would love to know numbers, so we'll go over to the whiteboard here. My handy dandy tripod setup. I don't know, I'm always a little leery on sharing numbers because, well, like, I don't know, farming is expensive, and yeah, it is crazy, some numbers, but at the same time, you guys can just go on the internet and you can see what the numbers are. So I don't know, we like to farm essentially on a budget. Just because you could buy new doesn't mean you have to buy new. I think farmers get caught up in that rat race. Oh, got to buy a new piece of equipment. So that planter, brand new, with 0 acres on it, is over $500,000 with those options. We bought that planter for 1/5 of the cost of a brand new one, and it had 8,000 acres. So our old planter was a 1770 12 row with the Montag cart. Yes, we did lose the dry fertilizer system, but I made up for it. I look at cost-wise in the precision upgrades. What's on there probably would cost close to 60 grand to put on our old planter, and I felt it wasn't worth putting on that planter. Our previous planter had, it's a 2009, and it had 20,000 acres. No, we didn't buy it new, but we had it for 9 years, and it's done really well. It's just, I don't know, CCS planter is nice, and I looked at putting those options on our old planter, and well, with the acres it's got, this is just a way better deal. So yeah, it cost us 25 grand to upgrade planters, and it's got 12,000 less acres. So I look at it, well, it cost me $2 an acre to upgrade planters, which is cheap. I guess we can write this down. This is math class, I guess, for farmers. I'll explain why you don't need to buy a brand new corn planter. So our old planter, 20,000 acres, let's say it had on it. It had a little bit more. And this one had 8,000. So your difference of 12,000 acres. It cost us 25,000 to upgrade. So that's a cost of a little over $2 an acre to upgrade planters, which is cheap. Like, that's really cheap. Yes, we don't have the dry fertilizer on it, but like I said, you have the precision upgrades, and in the future we can add a cart to it if we want. No, I'm not going to buy a new cart. I'm going to go on Kijiji or Facebook Marketplace, and I don't know, I'm too Dutch to buy something new. But if you would buy a brand new planter at $500,000, it's over $500,000, but we'll just use easy numbers. And let's say you get $100,000 for your old planter, so then you're $400,000 difference, right? But instead of 20,000 acres, you have, or the old planter has 20 and the new one has 0 acres. So that's a difference of 20,000 acres instead of the 12. Get my math here, but 20 to 0 is 20,000 acres divided by $400,000, right? Brand new planter, $20 an acre. Cost to upgrade. That's insane, because the average custom worker around here is, I don't know, 35 to 40 bucks an acre. Well, if you have $20 an acre just in planter upgrade costs, and that doesn't even include maintenance, fuel, putting the tractor on it, putting the guy on it, yeah, it's pretty expensive. So a lot of farmers talk about cost per acre or cost per hour to own something. So when someone says, oh, I bought a new tractor, it cost me $50 or $60 an hour to upgrade that tractor. So essentially, let's take for easy number, a new tractor's $400,000, and your new tractor is, or your used tractor is $200,000. You have a $200,000 difference. You put 2,000 hours on it. That tractor costs you $100 an hour to own. That's a lot of money. Put 2,000 hours on your tractor and it costs you $200,000 to own it. It's $100 an hour. Usually half of that is good. I know, like the smaller stuff, you're looking at like 40 to 50 bucks. Some of the bigger stuff, yeah, numbers can get kind of all over the place. But that's comparing apples to apples. That's not upgrading a 200 horsepower tractor to a 400 horsepower tractor. That's comparing buying a 200 horsepower tractor to another 200 horsepower tractor. So essentially that's me rambling on with my math. Yeah, $25,000 to upgrade corn planters with 12,000 less acres. That's enough of me rambling on. Hopefully my math. I'm pretty excited about that. I don't have to work as hard anymore. And thanks for watching.